Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
This is a certified hood classic.
Hey now. Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I love it when a plan comes together.
All rise, order is in court. It is time. We're in Florida, right? It is Florida Friday. No?
Florida Friday in its truest form today, Creed. We'll be doing court from Florida, chases from Florida. It's a banner day, some would say.
Banner day. Might even look at a bar in Florida. You never know.
Yo ho.
At some point. Let's jump into it. Let's do it. A bear is getting fingerprinted.
Ms. Peterson, good morning. Ms. Peterson, your fiance is in the courtroom, ma'am. You're here for first appearance again on the charge of petty theft. I think you first appeared last week and set a bond. So we're here to try to see if we can resolve your case. Ms. Peterson, listen to your attorney.
I think she's on the dating game, I think.
Represent you.
Your Honor, I put Ms. Peterson at this point in time in case number 24348 MM. She's going to plea of no contest to the charge as listed. The understanding should be sentenced to 30 days in the county jail. She'll have 7 days jail credit. There'll be a $370 fine. She has waived her right to a jury trial and call witnesses.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Mr. Jeffcoat said agreeable with the state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Peterson, Ms. Peterson, did you hear that agreement, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I did.
Ma'am, do you have any questions about that agreement?
Is it okay with my fiance? This is all my fault. It's okay with him?
She wants to know, is this okay with you, sir, that she enters this plea? He said it's okay with him. Is this what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Peterson, accept your plea of no contest and to the charge of petty theft in case 24-318 MM, 348 MM. Adjudicate you guilty of that offense, sentence you to 30 days in jail, but you've got credit for 7 days you've already served. I'm also going to order $370 court costs and fines. If this restitution will be reduced to a civil judgment. I did ask the state already, didn't I?
It is agreeable with the state, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Peterson, you finished that jail sentence, ma'am. This case will be over with. There's no probation involved in this sentence. Sir, she has 23 days left at most. The reason I say at most is that she may get some time off of that for gain time. I'm not promising her that. I'm just telling her that she may. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
She's got no probation there.
Okay.
Right. Ms.
Hey,
Peterson,
do I have any fees? Will I,
say that again,
will I
ma'am.
have
Say
any,
it again.
will I have any court costs?
There's court costs and fines of $370. If you don't pay that, the clerk's office is required by state law to send that to a collection agency. It can affect your credit. They may send you letters or phone calls, but we don't suspend driver's licenses for unpaid fines in Jackson County. I find that to be counterproductive. Any other questions?
Okay. Yeah, when is that due?
It's due within 90 days of your release from custody. That's when they send it to a collection agency. Okay?
Okay. Yes, okay.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank
Sir,
you.
do you have any questions?
She's
Do you have
happy.
questions, sir?
She's very obedient as well.
So we'll go back to the top of our list now. That's everyone here for first appearance on everyone in the courtroom for a first appearance case. That brings us back to Timothy Spencer.
Look at her still looking back.
She's really in love with her fiance.
Mr. Spencer,
She is a flirt.
you're here for a holdout of Brevard County. Mr. Spencer, I looked at the warrant and it appears to me to have a $2,500 bond, cash or surety out of Brevard County. Is that what you showed, Corporal?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Spencer, if you post the bond, you'll be released. If you're not able to post the bond, Brevard County will come and pick you up and you'll go before a judge down there. Do you have any questions?
Yes, yes, sir. My sister is supposed to be working on getting a bond with a bondsman out of Dothan, Alabama. I just don't know how that works for them to do a bond through here for something out of Brevard.
They can only do a bond out of Dothan if the bondsman in Dothan's licensed to post bonds in Florida.
Got it, Piggy. Thank you.
But it's very rare to have a bondsman in another state that's licensed to post bonds here. But if she finds one up there that is, then the bondsman will know how to do the process.
That was the first $5 on $5 Friday.
Local.
In Florida, not necessarily local, but in Florida.
Okay.
Someone's here on your case, I guess. Ma'am, you must have came in after we started. Your mother's in the courtroom. Yes, ma'am.
Blow her kisses.
time I was doing security, you know, we didn't want to leave me, had to go back down there, and, you know, they did everything virtually online, so that he didn't have to go to court. I mean, they made that a special, who can do that? So, I mean, he handled everything, I'm sure he can prove that once he's out of the court. You know, once he goes home, he did his documentation, I'm sure he'll be able to prove that,
Okay.
you know, he, you know, it's not, he did not appear in court.
There's there's very little chance of me involving myself in another judge's, in another county or circuit. But I'll be glad to look at it and tell you when the warrant was issued and what the warrant says. Okay. Are they saying it was issued because of a failure to appear? Well, you already know more about it than I do. So the judge down there says it's a failure to appear. Now, I don't know, but I'm not going to say, you say he appeared. I don't know if he did or not. And really, it's not my decision to make. A judge has issued a warrant. We're going to honor it.
Yes, sir. I have some information about that.
Okay, hang on a second. You and your mother both talking at the same time. Go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
ma'am. Ma'am, listen to me. I'm not going to try to overrule a judge on their own case. That would be foolish of me. I'm not getting involved in that case. You need to talk to an attorney in that area there that could then go before the judge along with the prosecutor and say, here's the documentation we have.
So
there's no way I'm going to get involved.
She's saying, so basically what the mother's saying, I barely could hear, but gathering from what he's saying, from what the judge is saying, is that she believes that her son had appeared.
Got issued a failure to appear.
But got issued a failure to appear, which then turned into a warrant, which in turn getting him picked up here now. And I believe that was in Alabama.
Right.
I think.
Elsewhere.
And
now he said he's not going to overstep what that judge has already said.
Right.
You need to go there and fix that. Don't come here and expect me to fix things elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense? Do you have any other questions, sir?
I just have some information. My mother is a little bit incorrect in that, but I can give you the information about what I think this is about and maybe you can confirm it.
It's 25. I talked to you, the jail. It's a $2,500 bond. What you need to do is bond out. You know, that's what it's $2,500. Bond out. Nothing's going to happen today about your case in Brevard County.
Okay, just explain to my mother, please, that it was a different court case.
Okay. She heard that. All right, so you will get to use the phone in a few minutes. You always get to use the phone anytime your bond is changed or you're made aware of any additional information regarding your bond. So you'll get to use the phone in a few minutes, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir. Thank you for coming, man.
Tell my mom. Tell her to be quiet.
Anyone else here that's came in late, but you're here for a first appearance case? No? Okay. Mr. McGriff is next.
Yeah, and he's not going to be privy to all that info.
No.
He's not going to have that all in front of
You're
him.
here on a failure to appear in a felony case. Looks like the circuit judge has issued a no bond warrant in that case, 23-381 CF. And it looks like it was a failure to appear for arraignment. The warrant says you were in the Bay County Jail. So, Mr. McDaniel, I'm going to ask you to notify if there's been an attorney that's going to be appointed that he may or may not have an excuse for the failure to appear. I have no idea what the circumstances were.
His mom might be there.
Simpson's already been assigned to him.
Give some misinformation. Yeah.
Mr. McGriff, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, where's my mom?
Best.
Okay.
Everybody else's mom and fiancés are here.
Nobody there for him, though. Kind of sad.
Sessions.
Pamela.
Hamburger.
Goes by Bear.
Mr. Sessions, good morning, Mr. Sessions. You're here for a violation of probation arraignment. There's a violation of probation warrant been issued by, in this case, it's Judge Garcia. It's a no bond warrant. I'm going to get you arraigned this morning because I want to get you a lawyer appointed if that's what you're asking for. Would you like me to go ahead and appoint you an attorney in that VOP?
Yeah.
So I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Listen to your attorney, Mr. McDaniel.
Your Honor, I've talked to Mr. Sessions at this point in time. He's going to plead. He's going to enter plea of no contest. Enter a. I just went blank.
It's a VOP arraignment.
He looks like he could play Freebird on the guitar.
Your Honor, asked to set this on August 13th.
I can see that.
Ahead of
August 13th. Ms. Jeffcoat, is that good with you?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Sessions, August 13th will be your court date, and Mr. Green, the attorney for the PD's office, will see you before then, although you may have a different attorney because you've got a new felony charge. So it may not be Mr. Green, but someone will see you before your court date. Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, sir. I wish you the best. We have Captain Brooks next.
He is tall. I almost hit his head on the way out.
Miss Brooks, good morning, ma'am. Miss Brooks,
Sweet tea.
the inpatient drug treatment center, and I was out at a judge's conference earlier this week. So listen to Mr. McDaniel. He's going to tell me where we stand on getting you to that program.
Your Honor, we're going to ask the court to go ahead and sign the order sending her to Earthen Vessel Rehab. I believe they have intake with the, I want to say they told me it was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so I believe that they're going to be able to pick her up Monday. I'll email them this afternoon today and let them know.
No,
But
court's on Monday,
I'm not
Wednesday,
sure. I
and
think it won't
Friday.
happen until Monday, but it may happen today, but I'll let them know that she can go ahead and go.
He's so wrong.
So it's Monday.
I love her Bieber haircut.
Yes.
Ms. Brooks. Your Honor, and Ms. Brooks, just want to let you know now, I don't know what's going to happen, but you may want to call the Bay County Clerk of Court because you got a hearing scheduled for that case that you had there in Bay County, that criminal case. It's on July 25th, which is a couple weeks from now. So I don't know if they're going to change it and while you're in rehab. Quite frankly, I don't know. I'd probably call on July 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there before that hearing to find out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jeffcoat, I agree with the state.
It is, Your Honor, and I just sent an email as well to the Bay County attorneys, letting them know where she was going to be at.
Thank you.
She's holding out for an all-girl rehab.
This program, I'm going to sign the order
Wouldn't
ready to
you?
go. I do try to tell people this, that part of the gain time process in the county jail system is following jail rules. And if you leave the program, you come back and finish your sentence, but you may forfeit some right to some of your gain time also, because that's violating a jail rule, because the jail is requiring you to follow the rules of that program. Be aware of that. If you stay and complete the program, then you will not do any more jail time. But
Yes, sir.
you get kicked out of the program, or if you leave voluntarily before you complete the program,
Life sentence.
it's a different story. Do you have any questions about any of that, Ms. Brooks?
Yes, sir.
And you do want to go to the program, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm signing the order extending limits of confinement, same order that you've already signed, and the chief at the jail has already signed. So the clerk will send that to the jail, please. And if we can get a copy. So Corporal, I guess we need to send a copy of that with Ms. Colbert when she takes Ms. Brooks on Monday, a copy for Ms. Colbert to leave at the program. So they'll have a copy there. Ms. Brooks, I wish you the best, ma'am.
Thank you.
Keelan Josie. Mr. Josie, good morning. You're a similar situation to Ms. Brooks for a gift program. Please listen to Mr. McDaniel for the details in your situation.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Josie. He's going to go ahead and go over to Chrome Rehab. I believe they're going to probably just pick him up today. They're right there across from the jail. So I'm going to let them know that the order's been signed and he can be picked up.
Thank you. Mr. Jeffcoat, state agree with that?
Yes, they are, Your Honor.
Mr. Josie, any questions about that?
No, sir.
Okay, you heard me explain everything to Ms. Brooks. Same thing applies to you. If you stay and complete the program, that's great. You're not doing any further jail time in this case. If you leave the program, you will not get credit for the time that you were at the program. And it certainly very likely will affect your ability to earn at least some of the gain time.
Belly Bob.
Come back and finish your sentence. Mr. Josie, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, I'm signing this order. I'm going to ask the clerk to
Yeah,
send it,
right across the street. Yeah.
and make sure, if you will, Corporal, please make sure that Mr. Chaplain Pippin or whoever, they may come pick him up since they're right across the road. Whoever picks him up, make sure they get a copy of that order extending limits of confinement. Mr. Josie, I wish you the best, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Stacy, tell your dad Ricky we say hi.
I love you too.
Ms. Billick, good morning. Ms. Billick, you're here for first appearance accused of one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. I believe you were first appeared while I was out this week, but you're being brought back today to try to see if we can resolve your case. I'm appointing the public defender's officer to represent you. Please listen to Mr. McDaniel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Ms. Billix on case number 24345 MM. She's going to receive no contest to the charges listed. The understanding, she'll be placed on probation for 11 months, 29 days. She'll pay a $370 fine, withhold adjudication. She'll have random drug tests. And she can early terminate if she gets everything done, stays out of trouble within 6 months. She has signed her plea waiver form, waiving right to a jury trial and call witnesses.
I think this one's random drug test and
Sorry.
treatment, correct?
So sorry.
And treatment, whatever probation requires. She said she could do it.
One of the things we learned at this conference I just came back from is, sometimes I'll say counseling as directed by the probation office. Can't do that. I can't
Hey now.
leave that up to the probation, so I have to put on the record the parameters of the counseling. So if you enter this plea, you will have to attend drug treatment counseling.
They got one in Miami, Dopey. I saw Raggle Monkey try to. Well, he's like right at where they were taking him in. Explained it.
Expressly.
Upon the charge you were with, the people you were with, it appears there may be a
rehab
drug issue if you enter this plea. Also, you need to understand that I told in the email or text this morning, I told the state in defense that it looked like you might be a candidate for inpatient drug treatment, and you do not feel that you're interested in that at this time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was already clean when I got arrested in the first place. I was just with the wrong people at the wrong time.
Well, given your lack of, you have like one prior charge on your record, so that's why I have no problem with this probation offer. Let me make sure it's okay with Ms. Jeffcoat. Ms. Jeffcoat, is this okay with the state?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Billick, is this a plea you want to enter, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest into the charge of possession, drug paraphernalia, withhold adjudication of guilt. The case is 24-345 MM. Sentence you to 11 months and 29 days probation, 370 court costs and fines. It'll include outpatient drug treatment, and also will include a random urinalysis, as the random urinalysis is at discretion of the probation officer. They're going to drug test you at least once, and you got to do outpatient drug treatment, Ms. Billick. Ms. Billick, ma'am, you're going to be brought to the courthouse after first appearance this morning. We have just a couple more cases. It's probably going to be in the next 30 minutes or so. When you get here, you will meet with the probation office. The probation officer will go over the terms of probation with you. They'll give you a chance to ask any questions. They'll give you a copy of all the rules in writing, and then you'll be free to go. Ms. Billick, before you leave the jail, you will get to use the phone to set up transportation. So if you do call friends or family, you can tell them that you can be picked up at the courthouse in about a half hour. Ms. Billick, do you have any questions?
No, sir, I don't.
I assume she will be ordered in the 12 AA or NA sessions unless she chooses to go to a private therapist.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So nothing's changed.
I'm fine with NAA or NA. What's changed really is that in those cases where we say you'll attend counseling as directed by the probation office, I can't say that. I have to specifically say you've got to go to counseling. Now, the probation office can set up the scheduling, and you got to do it in the first 60 days or 90 days.
Thank you. Round two.
Leave it up to the probation office.
God bless you.
On the record, that's what we were taught.
Hi, Hugh.
So, Ms. Billick, ma'am, you'll be brought to the courthouse in a little while, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Real quick, do you think she said, "Oh, I was just wrong place, wrong time"? But usually, people that are clean from drugs don't hang out with other people that are still using drugs or selling drugs. I find that kind of weird. Most reforming alcoholics don't hang out in bars.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point.
I'm just saying, I'm not doubting her too much, but still, it's kind of weird.
Busy reading D-Bone's.
Oh, I haven't got to that saga.
Ms. Peterson, we've already seen. Quintez Ruiz, we've already seen. Mr. Bozeman, I think, may be the last one at the jail. William Bozeman.
Oh, no.
Bozeman, good morning. Mr. Bozeman, you arrested.
Oh, this is the same asshole that came through the other day.
I was told by the jail this morning is that you were
I told you about this
2 hours. And the state was advised to notify
And so, by the way, join us Mondays at 5:30 for members Sunday. We got to chase channel.
D-Bone, you got your wish, bud.
Probation office of the arrest. Mr. Bozeman, what I'm going to do in your case is I'm going to change that to a 10-day hold. That's what we do in this county with everybody. If we give the state 10 days, not 72 hours, it's almost impossible for them to get a warrant signed within 72 hours. Mr. McDaniel,
he really left.
Advised us that they filed the affidavit in one of the counties. They just don't have a warrant yet.
Correct. They got it filed pretty quick, like in Bay County, but there's nothing been filed in Jackson County.
So, Ms. Shefcoat, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, but there was no warrant issued, but the affidavit was filed.
I'm assuming the state notified them, but if you would make sure that because of being another team, I don't know their procedure. So the 10 days started at the time of your first appearance, not today. So you've already got a couple days into that. So Corporal, if you'll put him back on the docket, I'll see him 10 days from his original first appearance, and we'll see if they have a warrant. Mr. Bozeman, if they don't have a warrant by then, I'll release the hold and you can post bond here. If they do have a warrant, we've got to honor it. Any questions, sir?
Yes, sir. Am I being appointed to public defender's office for the new charges?
I cannot do that until arraignment, and you can't be arraigned until the state has formally charged you. The state has 40 days to formally charge you, essentially 40 days.
Might be sitting around a bit.
Charge you. They may charge you with something more than what you're charged with. They may charge you with something less. They may charge you with the same thing. So once they charge you, then a judge can appoint the public defender's office to represent you, but you can't do it until the state has decided what to charge you with. So not yet, but as soon as you're charged, you'll be appointed a lawyer if you request one, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day, sir. Corporal, that's everybody I have on the first appearance docket. Anything else from the jail this morning?
No, sir, that's everything.
Let me make sure that no one in the courtroom is here for a jail case. Is anybody in the courtroom who's here for a case at the jail? No? Ms. Jeffcoat, anything else with the corporal this morning? Mr. McDaniel? No, Your Honor. Thank you, Corporal. We'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You
He's
too.
escaping.
Thank you. Mr. McDaniel, Ms. Jeffcoat, I know we've got a handful of out of custody pretrials.
Mark, welcome.
Do you want to move straight into those, or you need to take a short recess?
I need a few minutes. Amanda may be ready. Miss Kelly may be ready for hers.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and call that case, Ms. Kelly. Your client's case was continued last month. State versus Coleman Tillman. Ms. Kelly is here on behalf of Mr. Tillman, 24-109 MM. And Mr. Tillman was given a notice to be here because it was set for trial, and he was given a written notice to be here because it was continued at the last minute because of a conflict. And it's 9:06. And Ms. Kelly, what's your understanding of why he's not in court?
Your Honor, he just indicated that he was currently at I-10 on 73 now and be here in 5 minutes. So he just said that he was running in a few minutes behind. He didn't give a reason in text, but he has indicated he will be here within the next 5 or 10 minutes. He came into my office. We met in my office for about an hour on Wednesday. He made his office appointment without problem. He provided some documentation that I provided to Ms. Jeffcoat based on my conversation with her yesterday. I think she's checking with FWC. I'm going to be honest, I'm not terribly familiar with hunting licensure, or anything of that nature. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Ms. Jeffcoat's probably not a whole lot more familiar than I am. So she was checking with them to kind of see, looking for guidance based on the documents that he provided me. While she's waiting that answer, we're still ready for trial at this point, and we'll see what guidance they can give her.
Miss Kelly, do you have to be somewhere?
Mark Snyder, thank you for the 10 bones. We'll add you to the monorail down there. Appreciate that. Love our lurkers.
This morning besides here.
I've got a jail visit at the Sarasota jail that I'm doing my video at 9:30.
It's 9:10. All right, Ms. Jeffcoat, the state want to be heard on this?
Nothing further, really, Your Honor, other than I did forward the images of the, it looks like some tags, metal tags, hunting tags, and some permit paperwork that Ms. Kelly gave me this week to the officer, so that he can help me understand what that means. And
Ms. Kelly, what I'm going to do is, thank you both. Ms. Kelly, what I'm going to do is this. When you have to leave, you just go ahead and go. If he gets here before you leave, fine. If he doesn't get here before you have to leave, I'm going to issue a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
Okay.
Great,
thank you, Ms. Kelly. That way you don't have to come back up necessarily.
All right,
okay. So Mr. McDaniel needs a few minutes to talk to a couple of you on his cases that he has with you. What we're going to do is take a short recess, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching by YouTube.
And just like that, the recess is over.
Adams, good morning. You're coming up in 24-225 CT. The public defender's office has already been appointed to represent you. The charges are driving while license suspended or revoked knowingly and attaching a temporary tag unlawfully. So please listen to Mr. McDaniel with the public defender's office.
Okay.
Your Honor, we're going to plea of no contest to misuse of temporary tag, which is a first-degree misdemeanor. She's going to be placed on probation for 11 months, 29 days. She'll pay a $400 fine. She's early terminated. She gets everything done. The state's agreed to dismiss the driving license, suspended, revoked. She will sign her plea waiver form with the right to plea file. And all witnesses.
Thank you.
that is the agreement with the state.
Sign.
Yes.
It's different.
Misuse of a temporary tag is first degree. I had to look it up myself this morning. And you said that's okay with you.
Lady Cop, thank you. Great to see you. Late fee, love
Ms.
it.
Adams, did you hear that agreement, ma'am?
Yes,
And do you have any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
Ms. Adams, is that the plea that you would like to enter?
Yes.
And Ms. Adams, lastly, do you understand that by entering this plea, you're waiving your right to a trial and your right to call and cross-examine witnesses at that trial?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Adams, I will accept your plea of no contest to the charge of unlawful use of a temporary tag. Ma'am, states agree to dismiss the second charge. So you're only pleading to one charge, plea of no contest. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt, impose a standard fine of $400, place you on probation for 11 months and 29 days, possible early termination. And Ms. Adams, what we're going to do, ma'am, is get you some paperwork, and then we're going to get you to see Mr. Goodson here with the probation office. Mr. Goodson's going to get you instructed, ma'am, and they'll get you out of here. Just try to get everything done early so you can get off probation early. Ms. Adams, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am, as soon as you get your paperwork, I'm going to ask you to see Mr. Goodson with the probation office, okay?
Thank
you. Jesselyn Asher's been dismissed. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
Be safe, paneler.
I've got Joseph Goodman. Here. Ms. Jeffcoat.
Whatever that's part of that,
case, I'm pulling it up now.
tropical low or whatever it
Arraignment
was.
last month. He also has a warrant in Washington County for driving my license suspended revoked.
I think he failed to appear last
Sharon?
month, is that right?
Yeah. On the
a
battery
different charge, but-
July 1st, or 2nd, for the day we had him.
Joseph Goodman. Madam Clerk, please issue a warrant. Mr. Goodman, case 24-188, CT, failure to appear. And he signed a handwritten notice. It'll be no bond. After Mr. Goodman, the next case we have is Angelo Johnson.
Angelo.
Which is 24-201 MM. Mr. Johnson, come on up, sir, and listen to Mr. McDaniel, your attorney.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Johnson. At this point in time, he's going to accept the offer of pretrial intervention from the state. He'll be placed on it for 11 months, 29 days. He'll pay a $370 fine. He'll pay $600 in restitution, and he'll have no contact with Whitney Smith. And that will resolve this case today.
Ms. Jeffcoat.
I was running a lemonade stand out front.
Mr.
today.
Johnson, did you hear that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I explained to everybody on a PTI that every PTI comes with a conditional release. And what that does is it gives some teeth to the program. If you violate the PTI, you're also violating the conditional release. And what that means is you could, if you violate in a material way, you could go to jail with no bonds. You've got to take it seriously. On the other hand, if you complete everything, the case is dismissed. Do you have any questions about that program?
No, sir.
And you do want to participate in the program, correct? Sure.
Is there a retail theft?
No, it's not a retail theft case. Mr. Johnson will show your case referred to the PTI program for 1 year. Again, possible early termination to try to get it done so you can get off early at the halfway point, $600 restitution, $370 court costs and fines, no contact with the alleged victim, Ms. Smith. And Mr. Johnson, the clerks, by law, the clerk is allowed to charge $3.50 per payment on restitution. So it saves you a little money if you pay it all at one time. So try to save up and pay it all at one time. Try to get everything done so you get off early. Any questions?
$3.50.
I wish you the best. See Mr. Goodson, sir. The next case we have on the paper docket is Dustin Laguerre, but that's been dismissed, I believe. Okay, that brings us to Richard Lyons, 24-222 MM. Mr. Lyons is coming up. The charge is 1 count of petty theft. Mr. Lyons, come on up. Listen to Mr. McDaniel, sir.
Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Lyons. He's going to plead no contest to the charge of petty theft. Understanding he'll be sentenced to 60 days in the county jail. He'll have no jail credit. There'll be a $370 fine. He adjudicated guilty. There'll be restitution amount of $288.88, and states agreed not to charge on several counts. I believe the clerk has those counts: 24, 114, 115, 6, 119, 120, 121, 123, 124, 125, 133, and 145.
What about 123?
And this will resolve this case today.
Thank you. Ms. Jeffcoat had agreeable with the state.
Yes, it is.
Hi, Ed.
Mr. Lyons, did you hear that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lyons, do you have any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
And Mr. Lyons, is that the plea that you would like to enter? Is that the plea that you want to enter?
Yeah.
Okay, need you to sign that waiver of rights form, put your date of birth, Mr. Lyons. That form waives your right to a trial and also waives your right to call and cross-examine witnesses. I'm going to accept the plea of no contest.
I'm not used to seeing actual court hearings. Usually just
between the defendant and the state. The charge is petty theft. I'm going to
The
judge you
intake.
guilty, sentence you to 60 days in jail, no credit that you've served, $288 restitution, and court costs and fines for that charge, I believe, are $370 court costs and fines. Mr. McDaniel, is there any?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, he has a violation of state probation hearing with Judge Garcia Tuesday, I believe, July 16th. And he's going to ask the court
Somebody's
to,
falling
if he
asleep.
can
You
turn
guys hear
himself
that?
in on that day in the courtroom here when he has this violation of state probation hearing.
Mr. Lyons, I will allow that sometimes. The number one question I always ask people is, are you working?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
I own J&L Well Drilling and Pump Repair, and I also help Jason King with On Point Pump Repair.
What about landscape?
Mr. Jeff Coat, any objection to turning himself in court next week?
No objection from the state, Your
So,
Honor.
Mr. Lyons, we're going to add a sentence on here that says you can turn yourself in and start your 60-day sentence on what court date?
July 16th,
And what time is that court date?
8:30.
8:30.
Yeah, it sounds like
So
an
we need
actual
to get a
job.
copy of that to Sergeant Applewhite so that he can get it to the bailiff covering that court date, July 16th at 8:30. So, do you think you can resolve that case down there?
The money for the fines, we're trying to get it all
So
squished
you're
together.
hoping to?
Yes.
Okay.
Right there. What are you
So
talking about?
You're out of jail on this case, but if you get that resolved, they'll let you resolve that before. Just don't leave the courthouse that day.
Right.
Mr. Lyons, any questions?
No, sir.
We're going to give you some paperwork, sir. Take this paperwork with you to your court date.
Okay.
Okay? We'll give you a copy of the paperwork, Mr. Lyons. And once you get your paperwork, we'll get you out of here, okay?
We can do number 7 last, Your Honor.
Okay, Coleman Reagan is next then. Mr. Reagan's coming up in 24-175 CT, charge of driving under the influence. Mr. Reagan, come on up.
Boy, he
Listen
moves
to
fast.
Mr. McDaniel, your attorney.
Your Honor,
He is young,
Ms.
so-
Reagan, at this point in time, in 24-175 CT. is
Talk about the
going to,
judge.
Enter a plea of no contest to
Reagan.
reckless driving with alcohol. We're going to ask the court to withhold adjudication, to be placed on probation for 11 months, 29 days, 50 hours of community service, DUI class, $1,078 in fines, and the alcohol treatment and therapy as well. He's done most of all these things, Your Honor. He's already had them all completed. I've already advised him he's just going to have to, get those things to the Mr. Goodson upon, going on the probation.
Okay. Ms. Jeffcoat, is that agreeable with the state?
It is agreeable with the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Reagan, did you hear that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
And is that the plea that you would like to enter?
Yes, sir.
All right, I need you to sign this waiver of rights form that the clerk's fixing to hand you. This form waives your right to a trial and also waives your right to call and cross-examine witnesses. I know that from not from first appearance, from arraignment, I remember he was maybe either 17 or just turned 18. So for that reason, I want to ask if his parents have any questions.
Oh, so there you go.
Do you
He's
have any
pretty young.
questions because of his age? Okay, just want to make sure.
He
All
was
right.
drunk driving.
Mr. Reagan, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest then to the amended charge of reckless driving with alcohol. And that was another thing we were reminded of. I think the statute says reckless driving with alcohol as a primary factor. It may not be the word primary, but it's
Yes.
Anyway, it's significant factor. So, Mr. Reagan, it's a plea of no contest to that amended charge. I'm going to withhold adjudication of guilt. I'm going to sentence you to 11 months and 29 days probation, $1,078 court costs and fines, substance abuse counseling, 50 hours of public service work, DUI school. Mr. Goodson, because of his age and the fact that he's still in high school, right? Or you just graduated?
Yes, sir.
Then he may want to do some community service on some of that fine. He may not. That's up to him. The rest of it's all standard stuff. And Mr. Reagan, try to get everything done at the halfway point so you can get off probation early. That's what I would suggest you do. Try to get everything done in 6 months. They can cut you loose. And I certainly will sign off on that if you've completed everything, had no
It's Friday, it's
violations, and otherwise comply with their conditions. Mr. Reagan, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, sir. See Mr. Goodson. I wish you the best.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. We have Charles Shoemaker, number 9 on the paper docket.
Somebody say Schumacher.
Case number 24-216.
Is he a jockey?
Shoemaker's coming up. Mr. Shoemaker, come on up and listen to Mr. McDaniel, please.
Your Honor, we have this on the trial date for July 22nd. No, I'm just asking to be here at 8:30, July 22nd for trial.
7/22, 8:30, Ms. Jeffcoat.
That is the agreement with the state, Your Honor.
And as of right now, you anticipate that case going to trial?
Your Honor, I'm not sure yet.
But as of right now,
Yes.
you leave it on the docket. Okay.
That's-
I know you're going to have to talk to the victim, make a final decision. I understand that. So as of right now, it's going to trial, Mr. Shoemaker, July 22nd, 8:30. Does he already have a notice for that day? Please, we're going to give you another notice just to make sure there's no confusion. Mr. Shoemaker, Mr. McDaniel would like you here at 8:30, just to make sure that we have plenty of time to get ready. Check with him perhaps the Friday before.
Yes, sir.
To make sure it's still pending and everything. Okay.
I'm hoping it's resolved before then.
And it may be. Sometimes they do. These battery cases, the state has to, make a final decision once they.
What about the no contact? We have grandchildren.
It's still in effect right now. The alleged victim is not here, I'm assuming. So if you and she both want to modify it, I'll consider that. But if the case gets dismissed, which is what you're hoping, it's going to be modified anyway. Okay. And Mr. Shoemaker, understand that even if the case gets dismissed, if there's an injunction, and I have no idea if there's or not, if there's no injunction, then you'll be allowed to have contact if it's dismissed, but not until then. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
See you in 22nd.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coleman, Tillman, do we have those results yet?
Yes.
Are they good or bad?
You are the father.
What's it positive for?
Your Honor.
Good attitude, Your Honor.
Administer the UA. His findings on the UA were positive for amphetamines, positive for methamphetamines, and positive for THC.
Oh.
I also reviewed those results and concur 100% with his findings.
Thank you. So, Mr. Tillman, you're going to be taken into custody. We'll see you at first appearance tomorrow, sir. Okay.
No, it was in that hamburger. That's not.
I don't believe that they had somebody put meth in the hamburger. You're going to be taken into custody, and we'll see you in the morning. Okay. Have a good day. Gabriella Wilkes, Miss Jeff, please notify Miss Kelly of that.
How does nobody burst out in laughter at that? What a great ending. I Jesus Christ. And how do you have the balls to actually say that in court?
Why didn't you tell us where you had the hamburger at? I mean, that could really boost the sales.
Oh my God. Had been the hamburger. Had been
the hamburger I had last night.
I just don't know how you don't just bust out in laughter for shit like that.
The judge went home and told everybody about it.
Had to have. Must be a laugh about things outside of court, I guess, is how you gotta take that one.
Meth burger in paradise, Creed. Meth burger in paradise.
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
By the way, the monetary monorail over on the main channel is Jump the Rail.
Yeah, somebody was saying that, and then I think Voss had said that the comments were looking kind of funky for a minute too.
Yeah, I mean it's almost all the way off the screen.
I want to see what it looks like. I need to subscribe to some of our stuff so it's easier to find.
I mean, it's like running. It's like running on the ground. It's also a different engine and caboose.
Oh, stupid ads. Damn ads. Do the ads. Hang on. It's for video games too. I don't even play games.
Our crowd don't play video games. Come on.
Now it's a Harbor Freight commercial.
Oh, well, that one probably is viable.
All right. So on we got a case that looks really weird. It's like it's off center.
Yeah, it's like the train is running on the screen itself. And
is it worse on the main channel?
The blue bar is up. I don't know, man.
Great job, StreamYard. Yeah, basically looks the same. Well, no, it's a little worse. It looks a little worse on the main channel. Shit, that's funny. Well, anyways, all right, we'll be back 405 East course for we got to chase Florida Friday. I would imagine some things to look out for along the way.
Boy, is there ever you're going to be redirected to over on we got a case Judge Simpson Day around here. So Judge Simpson will be talking to a guy who showed up drunk for court and the update as well. So you'll get a two-parter, the first appearance and the update on what's going on. Yes, he's drunk in court and he's happy about it. And then you'll be directed over to the main channel, Credence Mikey, where you'll be enjoying even more Judge Simpson, from a guy who claims he was cutting his pants for his tether to fit to a gentleman who has just decided to get Judge really pissed off by saying, I ain't using no drugs.
Yes,
Mr. Allen.
The monetary.
You're ready for that.
The monetary monorail apparently was eating hamburger last night too.
It's on meth.
The Hamburger, the movie Express. Thank you to Tiny Piggy, who's number one.
And number
one,
2 as well.
Number 2. Mark the Lurker Snyder, welcome. Always love that. And
Thanks,
Lady
Mark.
Cop.
Lady Cop. Good to see your name up there right. For once.
Worst slot machines ever made.
Huff and Puff.
Eileen.
Never heard of them. Well, you guys, we'll see you back here for the next one. Glad you're here. Happy Friday. It's been fun.